Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Houbaer begins now.
Good evening. First tonight, Tasmanians are ready to see out 2021 and ring in the new year, with events being held across the state. Our reporter Grace Evans joins us live now from Hobart's waterfront. Good evening, Grace. What's the atmosphere like down there?
Good evening, Lou. It's buzzing already. People are starting to flock to the taste of summer festivities as the countdown to the new year officially begins. 70 different musicians, including homegrown talent, will put on a show here tonight. As always, there will be plenty of food and drink to enjoy. Organisers say despite COVID challenges, they anticipate a large crowd will make their way through the gates.
Ticket sales are strong. Like, our capacity is 5,000, as everyone knows. So yeah, we'll be pretty happy if we get close to that.
Meanwhile, in Launceston, it's going to be all about having a frothy. The annual Beer Fest is playing host to hundreds of people at Royal Park, with some of Tasmania's finest produce on offer.
Close to selling out the evening session, so that's at 5,000 people. So that's a great result. We're really happy with the support that we've had, and the atmosphere is just going to be a lot of fun.
Of course, it wouldn't be a proper send-off to what's been a difficult 2021 without some fireworks. And I've been told we'll get a perfect view down here with displays at 9:30 and midnight. Lou?
Wonderful. Thanks for that, Grace. It looks wonderful. I'm sure it'll be spectacular as always. New South Wales has once again smashed its own daily COVID tally, recording more than 20,000 new infections overnight. While Tasmania has reported its biggest daily caseload ever, with 137 new cases today. No one's in ICU at this stage, but 4 positive cases are being treated in hospital. A staff member at the Mary Ogilvie House at Newtown is among the new infections. It comes just hours out from the state dropping the negative PCR test requirement for travellers.
That's to be expected in terms of the impact on the numbers, and in Tasmania we had a clear plan. It's working to that plan.
King and Flinders Island communities have also been impacted by the growing spread of the virus, with 2 interstate travellers receiving positive test results after arriving. A volunteer firefighter has been suspended from duty after being charged with allegedly lighting a string of fires on Flinders Island over the past 2 years. The man is facing 6 counts of unlawfully setting fire to vegetation following a 2-year police investigation. He'll face Whitemark Magistrates Court at a later date. A man has died after crashing his car into a tree north of Hobart overnight. The 8-year-old was travelling along Boyer Road near Norskiskog just after 7:30 when the vehicle veered off the road. Police are appealing for anyone who witnessed the incident to contact them. The final 2 Hillcrest victims have been farewelled in Devonport. Addison Stewart's father paid an emotional tribute to his sweet daughter, while Chase Harrison was remembered for his love of sport and sense of humour.
Chase Harrison's Warriors teammates formed a guard of honour as his casket was carried into the Mersey Gardens Chapel. His coach spoke on behalf of the club.
Our number 14, our teammate, friend, brother, a warrior for life. Shoot for the stars and keep hooping until we meet again, so I can make you run those lines. This time, I'll do them with you.
The 11-year-old was remembered for his thirst for knowledge and love of learning.
Chase was full of beans. He was kind and gentle, and he had a fabulous love for reading and books. One of the favourites. How sweet it is to have taught you, Chase.
Heartfelt messages from Chase's friends were also read out.
It makes me sad that you didn't get to grow up and be the greatest basketball player of all time. But most of all, I'm sad that you can't give me some skin one last time. We did a lot together and we always had fun. Chase is my best friend and I miss him.
While an emotional memory from Chase's mother was shared, reflecting on a special birthday card he gave her this year.
Our hearts are broken and our world will never be the same. But I will treasure these words and our time together. I am blessed to be your mummy.
The final child who died in the Jumping Castle tragedy earlier this month was laid to rest this afternoon. 11-year-old Arson Stewart was remembered for her caring nature and kind-hearted soul.
Arson was a mother hen, always looking out for people. It was only the past 2 years Arson took this particular person under her wing and was always there for her.
She loved singing and dancing and was an adored cousin.
Arson was my role model. I looked up to her even when I didn't know I did. She helped me throughout my life and I am forever grateful for her.
Her father, Nathan Stewart, also said his final goodbye.
She had extra special love for her sister Mackenzie and her boy twin little brother Pacey. Our baby now and forever. We love you, Addie.
Late this afternoon, the thousands of tributes left outside Hillcrest Primary School were collected by members of the community, which will be used in a permanent memorial to honour the lives of 6 children gone too soon. Letitia Wallace, 7 Tasmanian News.
Ichiban has been crowned the overall winner of this year's Sydney Hobart. It's the yacht's 3rd Tattersall Cup, but the race wasn't without controversy, with a protest lodged against rival Celestial.
A hard-fought race, all made worth it in this moment. Ichiban officially handed the Tattersall Cup.
What a moment, mate. Oh, Tim.
Now celebrating back-to-back wins. Although skipper Matt Allen managed to avoid one important tradition, the boat's captain Tim Ryan taking the plunge in his place. But the race made a splash in more than one way, with 2 protests issued against Ichiban's rival Celestial, an international jury slapping them with a 40-minute time penalty for remaining unresponsive for 90 minutes following the activation of a crew member's personal locator beacon.
We'd always prefer to win on the water. There's no doubt about that. I mean, none of us sailors don't like going to the room.
Ichiban's race set back as a result by almost 15 minutes, forced to deploy a red parachute flare in an attempt to draw Celestial's attention.
And given the tightness of the race, that was a critical matter.
The announcement on a winner delayed until today. Ichiban's crew are now looking forward to a subdued evening of celebrations.
A few cups of coffee and then we'll sit down and enjoy the New Year's Eve and really reflect on the race. We haven't really had much time to sit down and relax.
The excitement now winding up for another year. Next Side's 7 Tasmanian News.
Can we get another gift?
Well, Tasmania enjoyed a year relatively free of lockdowns. There were plenty of news events which shocked us, saddened us or made us smile. Tonight we take a look back at the local stories which formed 2021.
This year's Australian of the Year, the first from Tasmania.
Let's make some noise, Australia!
An elimination final in our own backyard.
And this is my first time seeing them in Tassie.
It's my last chance to have a runner in a decent race. Excuse me, win, lose or draw, it'd just be fantastic to get into it.
And away they go.
The world's largest meat processor affected by a cyber attack, with more than 10,000 staff stood down at 47 sites.
An embrace outside court after waiting almost 3 years for justice. Not a day goes by where Claudette Bretner doesn't think about her son.
He was amazing. He was funny. He laughed all the time.
This stretch of remote West Coast highway will forever be a symbol of heartbreak for Targa's tight-knit fraternity.
Police found the bodies of a man and a woman at Table Cape after searching the area.
It's been hailed the largest ever drug investigation in Tasmania's history.
The worker inside bore the brunt of the blast. He was making gin when the blaze ignited.
As the sun rose, blue and red lights were just visible through the heavy haze.
I knew it was Brunswick beforehand, but it was still, it's very heart-wrenching.
This day means something so profound. We commemorate those who died and those who were injured. Today is a day for us to reflect on what happened.
I've seen all the flowers up here, so I come across that and it just broke me up. Shocking what's happened. Absolutely shocking.
His chips cashed in for his management of COVID. The premier of the pandemic had the backing of Tasmanians.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a night.
So you've done it? Yes. Oh, done.
The coronavirus vaccine is at last in Tasmania.
An hour later, we got an update saying that there was a potential case on the plane.
A 3-day lockdown after a man infected with the Delta strain entered the community this week and lied about his movements.
One of the things that we do not want to be in this state is either Sydney or Melbourne, who acted too late in both instances when dealing with Delta.
I would like to start by saying how terribly sorry I am to the state of Tasmania and the trouble I have caused.
Guys should be locked up, key thrown away.
Confirmation, a coronation. We can start the celebration.
It's a race that will go down in history, and the reaction of her coach won't be far behind.
This is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. Yeah.
Dion Kenzie.
Absolutely perfect from Australia. Josh Belts gets his first Olympic goal.
Richie Port will go out the winner of the Criterium de Dauphiné.
And McSwain gets stronger as the line approaches.
Tasmanian basketball fans had tears in their eyes when they lost their team. 26 years later, they have happy tears in their eyes.
Months of separation all coming down to these moments.
Can you describe the feelings that you're feeling right now?
Can't you see it in my eyes?
Really emotional, but yeah, really happy.
It's a little bit overwhelmed, yeah.
A Tasmanian devil has been saved from the brink of death thanks to the work of local wildlife warriors. The animal made a full recovery at Bonorong Wildlife Sanctuary and has since been released back into the wild.
Rescued from Maria Island with a life-threatening injury, the chances of survival for this Tasmanian devil look slim.
Yeah, well, I remember when she first came in, the wound was obviously really horrific and it probably didn't look so good in the early days of her keeping the leg.
But after 3 months in the caring hands of the Bonorong Wildlife Sanctuary team, signs of hope began to show. This was the special moment clownfish began to walk again.
Yeah, it was an incredibly long journey for her and dealing with bandages and lots and lots of vet checks obviously, but I think everyone was surprised by how quickly she recovered and how well she recovered.
Staff have described the female's recovery as a rare case, released back into the wild to join the more than 10,000 devils who call Tasmania home.
To see her obviously go back to the wild, that's all the fuel for your fire that you need. It's the reward.
Getting people back through the doors into the new year will be vital for this sanctuary, with all the money from entry going back towards helping animals just like clownfish. Sustaining a healthy number of the iconic species, a top priority for 2022.
You know, who knows how important she'll be in the future and how many offspring come from her directly. So every single life counts for all species, of course, but even more so when they're in danger.
Grace Evans, 7 Tasmanian News.
A Tassie crew has scored line honours in the inaugural two-handed category of the Sydney Hobart race. Sidewinder crossing the line last night, etching its name in history, but the race wasn't without its challenges.
The first two-handed division line honours in Sydney to Hobart history. And who better to take out that title than a Tassie crew?
We always saw that as an opportunity that if they did have a two-handed race, we always wanted to be on the start line of the first one, and our goal was to be on the finish line.
The Sidewinder crossing the line last night. The feeling today as they packed down.
Relieved, sore, and just sort of sinking in.
Tasmanians Rob Goff and John Saul, the two-man crew, a bakery owner and local GP. But it wasn't all smooth sailing for the duo, the seas turning against them on the very first night.
I got knocked sort of up in the air, and then I landed on my back in the cockpit on a part of the boat, and I think I might have cracked a few ribs.
Had a few problems with the boat like everyone else, but it was just so good to finish.
And with just 2 crew members, naps were far and few between.
I get 1 big sleep a day, which is about an hour and a half, and then I'm pretty much at 10 to 15 minutes every 2 hours sort of person.
As for the celebrations...
Oh, gee, that first beer went down exceptionally well. Had a couple more, but getting too old to celebrate like I used to in the olden days.
Meg Sides, 7 Tasmania News.
Hello there and welcome back. We saw warm and sunny conditions across the state today, reaching 23 degrees in Devonport, Hobart and Burnie 25, Launceston 31. 33 degrees was the state's high, recorded at St Helens, Bushy Park, Cressy and Campania. Grove 31, Friendly Beaches 25, with a top of 21 for Strawn and Maria Island today. From the satellite, we can see clear skies over Tasmania with bands of cloud to the west ahead of a weakening front. Zooming out, a cloud mass sat over the Coral Sea today due to an intense low pressure system, with middle and high level clouds streaming over South and Central Australia. Moving ahead to tomorrow, and the chart shows a cold front to the west of Tasmania, a high over the Tasman with troughs and lows over Central and Western Australia. On the waters, winds west to northwesterly reaching 25 knots about the west and south and 30 knots about the east. And there's a strong wind warning east of Flinders Island as well as for the upper and lower east coast. And there's a very high fire danger forecast for the central north and Midlands. A top of 26 for Hobart tomorrow, looking partly cloudy. Possible showers for Oatlands and Medina. Partly cloudy conditions in the north, Launceston 33, Devonport 26. A shower or two expected at Lyowini. A possible shower for Burnie 27 tomorrow. Strawn 23, Marrawar 21. And another hot day expected along the east coast, St Helens 31, Swansea 32 and a top of 27 at Orford. UV extreme 11s and 12s across the state. Looking ahead to Sunday, showers clearing from the west in the afternoon with possible thunderstorms about central and western areas of the state. Monday, showers about the north, mainly about higher ground. Possible early showers about the east, but fine elsewhere. And Tuesday, showers expected inland, most likely in the afternoon. To the mainland, mostly sunny in Melbourne tomorrow with a top of 37 degrees, Adelaide 34, Sydney 29, and showers in Brisbane with a top of 28. Finally, a look at the current conditions, still fairly warm across the major centres, and Louise, it's looking to remain clear across the state through to midnight tonight. Perfect conditions for fireworks as we bring in 2022.
And let's hope it continues in 2022. Thanks for that, Brit. And that's all your news for now from all of us. We hope you have a happy and safe new year. We'll leave you with a look at some of the moments our news team hoped wouldn't make it to air, but they will. Good night.
I think it is a disgrace. That's going to Christmas Eve, isn't it?
At Hobart's Mountainside Hotel.
I just want to be drinking a beer.
Thunderbolts of lightning.
Very frightening. Yes. And Hobart was 20! I am a genius. I'm not just an ugly face.
Turning across the country now, sunny as always in Alice Springs.
When I say chuck a filter on me, I don't mean this much.
Great Southern Land, do-do. Great Southern Land.
Oh!
That's such an unreasonable question because I didn't write that little stat down.
Anglican Church to fund the
Ooh, that's better. Let's stick with that look.
I'm hungry.